Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Climb. With me today, I have Sam Jonas. Sam is the co-founder and CEO of NData Services. Sam has over 30 years of experience in the payments industry. Now Sam works to deploy healthy food incentive technologies and digital retail promotions. And we're really talking today about digital couponing. So welcome, Sam. Welcome to Climb.
Thank you very much, Brad. Much appreciated.
So let's just dive right in. Tell us about digital couponing. What is it?
Well, what's interesting is that couponing in general has kind of gone through an evolution over the past few years. And there's some very interesting developments in the market these days, especially for independent retailers like the independent pharmacies that are served by RMS. What I like to say, on the genesis of couponing is in the beginning, there were paper coupons. And paper coupons, we're all familiar with them. They've been around for over 100 years plus, but they've had a lot of issues over the years, right? Fraud, they're labor intensive, it's slow payment, high cost of handling. So basically, with the emergence of barcode technology over the past 30 to 40 years, right, there was the development of a variety of standards for coupons. And the most recent one that you might be familiar with, or probably not because it's a little wonky, if you will, was the 8110 standard. It's been around since the 90s, and it's a barcode standard that has become kind of the technology that's used for both paper coupons. And then if you see a barcode on a digital coupon, like maybe on your grocery loyalty program or something like that, it's likely to be the 8110. But what had happened was because it was such a workhorse and had been in the market for a long time, the fraudsters had learned how to counterfeit it um, and create counterfeit coupons, fraudulent coupons, obviously aided by the development of different digital graphic technologies in the internet and things like that. A lot of this was kind of made famous, if you will, in a movie called Queen Pins a couple of years ago. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of a funny take on it, but was a $40 million coupon fraud with a couple of housewives in Phoenix, Arizona. And there's actually stories like that are just legion. So what happened a few years ago was that the industry knew there needed to be a change. And so they got together, coupon professionals and the trade associations and the leading consumer packaged good companies like Procter and Gamble and General Mills got together and said, we need a new standard. And they developed a new standard called the 8112. And the 8112 is a different kind of barcode. It's fully serialized, single use, and it's fraud free. And it's been in development the past 5 years. It's just now coming to the market. We're piloting it with a number of, progressive and forward-looking organizations like RMS in a number of different verticals, independent drug, independent grocery, and then also convenience.
Okay. So this is basically the manufacturer's coupon, what the pharmacies are used to seeing in our world, but digitalized. And
Yeah, yeah, that's a great point. In fact, most of the digital coupons that you see these days, like for example, in a grocery loyalty program or something like that, um, those are they're special to that retailer, right? There's been a deal that that retailer has cut with, a General Foods or a Mondelez or a Unilever, Nestle's, whoever it might be. Um, these coupons, the 8112s, are basically 8112 is the technology for converting all of those paper coupons into digital. And so that's the role that this technology will play in the market. And of course, these coupons will be available to all retailers, right? So there'll be a real plus for independents because suddenly independents will have access to the exact same offers that the big boxes big box stores have versus those coupons that you see inside of a loyalty program that are particular to that retailer and aren't available to independent retailers.
Okay. Leveling the playing surface a little bit anyway, right?
We like to say it democratizes couponing.
Okay. So it sounds like it's still early stages. Who's adopting digital couponing at this point in time? Both, from or shop. How is this part working, I guess?
A great question. What a lot of people don't realize is that the overwhelming majority of the coupons are still paper. And the CPGs that are issuing those are
And,
really driving this process.
and
Because
what is CPG? Sorry,
I'm
what is
sorry, right. It's a consumer packaged good company. So Procter and Gamble is a CPG. Bounty paper towels is a brand underneath P&G, right? Abbott is a CPG, but Ensure is a product or a brand underneath that CPG. So kind of think of it as like a hierarchy. Um, and so, the CPGs have really driven this process because they want to be able to convert paper to digital. When I got, as you had said in your gracious introduction, I come out of the payments business. I've worked with retailer technology for a long time, but really had never been in the coupons and promotion business, right? So I was really surprised to learn, as recently as 2021, which have the most reliable stats available, that of the 176 billion coupons issued in 2021, 89% were still paper.
Wow.
So you're
You
talking
said
about
billion too, right? That wasn't
billions with a
billion.
B. That's right. That's right. So
Wow.
you're talking about in 2021, over 150 billion paper coupons were still issued. And if you see a digital coupon inside your grocery loyalty program, or you use something like Ibotta or something like that, those only represented less than 12% of the total coupons issued. I think in the past year, that's maybe evened a little bit, but paper coupons still represent over 80% of the total coupons out there. And the CPGs are driving this because they have tremendous cost. Obviously, that the generation of people who use paper coupons, they're kind of dying out, right? Many millennials and Gen Zs wouldn't be caught dead redeeming a paper coupon, right? Unless it was worth 25 bucks or something. Um, so the CPGs saw this move, this new 8112 standard as the technology that would help drive the transition, the movement from paper to digital, lower costs, make it easier for consumers to access their products, level the playing field, to your point, and be able to um, capture that next generation of savers, right? The Gen Zs, the millennials, who are now, of course, starting their own families, looking to save money. We're obviously in a difficult economic condition right now. So, being able to capture those young families is very important. And I think the CPGs really saw that as a way to be able to do that. On top of it, of course, independent retailers are embracing 8112 because they see this as a way for them to compete more effectively with big box.
Yeah, so let's delve into that a little bit because there's very obvious benefits for the CPGs. I mean, it's much less expensive to create a digital coupon and get that out there. They can much more easily target specific people, specific groups of people, specific regions, right? Much more easily. So all that makes sense. But there are also a lot of benefits for retailers as well. Let's delve into that a little bit. and and shoppers, but let's talk about the retailers, our clients right now. Let's talk about the benefits for them.
Absolutely. Um, Again, this is where the role of these new 8112 digital coupons and the value proposition to independent retailers, it's multidimensional. So we've spoken already about the fact that as they digitize these coupons, and they'll be delivered through a wide variety of digital channels, right? Think Facebook ads, social media, web ads, email, text. Um, Consumers will be able to discover them everywhere. Those consumers will be able to go to the independent retailer and get the exact same deal that they would have been able to get at the big box store. So the fact of the matter is that that's an attractive opportunity for those retailers. So the thing about it is because the CPGs are very interested in it, Brad, you've seen a number of P&G has been driving the product, been driving the process. They've got hundreds of offers out right now. Nestle's has joined. We've been doing some promotions with Boost at Nestle's. Abbott is about to roll out a campaign that's going to include Ensure, Glucerna shakes. I believe the Zone bars is another product. So because the CPGs are interested in it and being and putting and beginning to really put out some very decent offers, um, it has the potential. It creates the potential for RMS clients and other independent retailers to be able to take advantage of these offers. We've also seen some of the retailers that we work with take 8112s from the CPGs and then add them to their own internal promotions. And so I'll share with you right now. Here's an RMS client, Hardig Drug, that has actually taken their own in-house discounts, layered them onto some 8112 offers, one by Bayer, you see here on the right, and then there's two offers from P&G that you see on the lower left-hand side. P&G's Charmin toilet paper, as well as Era um, dish clothes washing liquid. Tide or Era, actually it was both. Very two good, really strong brands. But you kind of see how they've been able to use these digital coupons and fold them into their current um, marketing campaigns and discounts that they might have gotten from their distributors.
So this is an interesting thing too, because I think one of the big complaints that I hear from retailers about manufacturers' coupons is the administrative headache of getting these paper coupons and then sending them to a clearinghouse and waiting for a bunch of time to get them back or to get money to get paid. And there's sometimes the employee loses the coupon, doesn't put it in the drawer, or who knows, the employees steal the coupons for themselves. I mean, there's a whole slew of problems. And it sounds like, well, I know that this goes away. So explain a little bit about that part of the process for the retailers.
Yeah, great question. When I spoke earlier about lower labor costs, you just outlined and high handling uh, process, right, for paper coupons. You just outlined very well there that headache that retailers have to deal with all the time, right? You've got to count the coupons, you've got to fill out a register, you've got to bag the coupons, you've got to mail them off, you've got to wait weeks. Maybe you get paid in, 60, anywhere from 45 to 60 to 75 days. So it's been a real problem over the years. In fact, to that point, many retailers actually will accept a coupon to keep the consumer happy. And then because it's so difficult to actually go through the process of clearing and redeeming, they just throw them away. So they keep the customer happy, but they don't get reimbursed. So the 8112s, because they're all digital, there's a couple of things that are really important here. There is in-basket validation, and that in-basket validation proves that the product was purchased, right? Um, so that's one of the, when people submit coupons, a lot of times the clearinghouse will send back a note and say, hey, we're not going to pay you for this unless you send us a copy of the invoice that shows where you, the retailer, actually bought the product, which of course is, you know, extra labor layered on top of all the labor that's already been put in. We've spoken to a number of retailers who say, you know, I don't even go through that. I just go ahead and accept that they're not going to pay me for that coupon, even though I know I bought the product. 8112 solves that problem by giving you in-basket validation. But then secondarily, once the retailer closes their week, and that's the normal cycle, is that, if you do a week, if your weekly cycle is, for example, Sunday to Saturday, when you close for the week, that will automatically generate a report that will come to our company in data services. We'll prepare that document, right? We'll turn it into an invoice to the various CPGs that are obligated to pay the retailer, collect the money, and then pay the retailer. That allows us to, because it's all digital, that allows us to reduce the payment, the invoicing and payment cycle in many cases to less than 2 weeks.
And I think one of the key things here is that the bottom line is this: once the transaction is completed, you're guaranteed to get paid.
Correct.
You didn't collect anything. The computer, the software, collected all the data and sent it forward to get at the time that you scan that coupon, it gets validated that it's a valid coupon one, and that there's product in the transaction for that coupon. And when that gets approved, you're guaranteed to get paid.
Yeah, and the really interesting point about that, and getting back to this process of submitting paper coupons, we've had retailers say to us they have never been paid full face value on the coupons that they submitted because of a lot of these issues, whether it happens to be the CPG, the clearinghouse asking them to prove that they bought the products from the CPG or the brand, or the issue of fraud, or any one of a number of things. So the 8112s operate on a central database where those coupons are all stored and they're validated every time when they're submitted. They're validated in real time. So they're validating the coupon upstream and they're validating that the product is in the basket. Those two things together guarantee you're going to be paid.
Very good. And I think that's just such a key point for the retailers, because I hear the same thing that you do. We hear retailers all this time that throw away the paper coupons because it's not worth their time. So they never see the money. And when they do see money, it's never the full amount. In this case, if it's $1 off coupon, they're going to see $1.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing about it is that we firmly believe that the 8112s are going to actually enable the retailer to see more offers from their shoppers, from their consumers, because it's going to be easier to, I mean, everybody, and we all lose our phone every now and then, but everybody does their best to not lose their phone. They generally don't forget their phone when they go shopping. With paper coupons, all too often, you get to the store and you smack your forehead and you go, oh, I forgot the paper coupons, right? But you have your phone and you store the 8112s on your phone in a digital wallet, so they're easy to find and easy to access.
And without going into too much detail here, because I've obviously seen this, but for the consumer, when they're putting these digital coupons into that digital wallet, for the retailer, I think something that's really awesome is that, let's say the customer brings up they bring up a bunch of OTC or HBA products and they say, yeah, I have a bunch of coupons. They can scan one barcode from the digital wallet, one QR code, and have that search through and ring up all of the valid available coupons. So if out of the 10 products that have been scanned at the register, and the customer has 8 coupons in their digital wallet, but only 3 of them are valid for this transaction, they don't have to find those 3 in their digital wallet. The computer will do that for them. They scan the one barcode, and it finds the 3 that are valid. Correct.
Absolutely, you're hired. And I actually have a slide that is a great graphic for this. So
Okay.
give me a moment and I'll actually bring that up also. As you can see here, to your point, this is a digital wallet that we use. It's called Coupon24. It's a wonderful tool for consumers. This field right here is my coupons, right? I've loaded all of my coupons in here. You can kind of see these in the lower right-hand corner, and it will automatically look at the products in your basket and then determine, oh, I've got these 4 coupons, and then it bundles them right into that QR code. So instead of having to flip through your phone and look for this coupon, look for my Charmin, look for my Tide, it bundles them all together and then gives you one QR code to present to the cashier.
So speeds check out dramatically for those people that are using a lot of coupons. And again, only validates the ones they're one, valid, and 2, the products in the transaction. So you're guaranteed to get paid.
Yeah, and that's a great point because so often we're at the grocery store and we're behind that shopper that's got 20 paper coupons, and we're doing our best to not look, bored or frustrated because we know they're trying to save some money. This is a way for the consumer to be able to just present a single QR code. It'll automatically capture the items that are both in their coupon folder in the wallet, and then automatically apply them to the items that are in the basket. So yeah, to your point, it speeds checkout and it just keeps everybody happier in the checkout line.
Absolutely. So, and the retailer happier because there's no paperwork.
Yes, yes, exactly. It's all digital, end to end. And I have to put a plug in here for RMS. I mean, this is early technology. You guys have been great working with us. It's gone very, very smoothly. We've got some very happy customers who are really kind of discovering what the next generation of digital couponing is going to be. And I've got to give you credit, Brad. You're the guy that's taking it to your customers.
Well, thank you. So I appreciate that. Yeah, and and it has been really successful where we've piloted it as we've rolled this out. But I think this is a good place to pivot a little bit to, and I've been kind of focusing, and we focused a little bit of attention on the manufacturer's coupon. You showed that slide with Hardy Drug where they've coupled their own discount on top of the manufacturer's coupon, but there's more, right? That it sounds there's more offerings, more you can do more with this than you've ever been able to do with manufacturer's coupons. And let's talk a little bit about the really fun stuff that Hardig has done and that you've been talking to us about that retailers can use their imagination to do.
Sure. Thanks for going there because the 8112s, they're just really flexible. This was another feature that was built into the technology, just the same way that barcode, that 8112 barcode or QR code, can represent, the 10 UPCs that represent, 32-ounce Tide or whatever it happens to be, right? It can also represent, you know, 100 UPCs or PLUs that might be in your plant department or in a seasonal department. So because the 8112s are completely serialized in single use, we've actually been piloting with Hardig and some other retailers that we work with, taking different parts of the store, items that they sell, turning them in. These are not CPG or brand items, right? And then turning them into serialized barcodes that they can push out to their customers, and then it helps them sell those products. I'm going to go back to the trusty slides here and give you a couple of graphics. Here, this is a program that we did at Hardig with their sportswear. Hardig is in Iowa, as you see here, Big Ten country, big football area, both in college and in high schools. And so Hardig in their chain actually sells jerseys for the Iowa Hawkeyes, the Iowa State Cyclones, though not many of those. They're big Hawkeyes fans in that area, and as well as the high school teams. And so we actually put together a program with them where we took all the UPCs that represented what we called their sports swag, right? Their sports themed promo, which was a total of 1,800 UPCs, and turned them into a single QR code. And then they pushed that out through Facebook as well as in-store danglers, so people could capture the QR code right inside the store. And it was very popular. Did a lot of transactions over the 2 weeks that we did this campaign, in the couple of weeks in August, right, leading up to the launching of the school year. So that's a really good example of something creative that they were able to do with specialty products that they sold within the store. This is another application. We're talking about doing it with them right now. And this is like a dental bundle. So think about taking, all of the UPCs that represent, all of your toothpaste, all the Colgate toothpaste, all the Colgate dental floss, and all the Colgate toothbrushes. Maybe that's what, 60, 70, 80 UPCs. And as long as you pick one item from any of those three categories and put them together, you get the discount. So these are the kinds of things that we can do for both brand products as well as non-brand or store specialty products.
Well, and I think the thing that makes that so compelling is that, yes, Procter & Gamble can put out a manufacturer's coupon for Colgate, which can be used at any retailer that has Colgate. But in something like this bundle that you just that's specific to your store. So you've created, they can't take it to Walgreens, they can't take it to Walmart. It's only valid in your store. And that's an exciting, I think, a very exciting part of this whole digital couponing piece.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely correct. And we're also using these 8112s for healthcare or food benefits. So I will actually do another trusty slide image here. So these screens give you a feel for the consumer experience, right? Moving left to right, you see how the coupons, you collect them inside the wallet. You can have galleries. In this case, slide number 2 is a gallery of P&G products. You can have some customized screens. Here's an example of in-store offers if you have a hot food offering. And then on the far side here, healthcare benefits. So we've been taking, for example, the produce department in grocery stores, and taking 500 to 1,000 UPCs and PLUs, bundling them up to a single barcode, and then working with local healthcare providers for them to be able to direct their chronic care patients, think diabetes patients, or maybe patients suffering from obesity or high blood pressure, who need to eat more fresh vegetables. And we can use 8112 for that limited spend catalog of those kinds of food items, those healthy food items.
Very interesting. Basically, the limitation sounds like it starts to be your imagination as as using these
Yeah,
types. So,
exactly. And you can mix and match anything, as long as you can message to the consumer, what that barcode is good for, right? So you don't want it to be, something crazy across the store here or there, but you can do if this, then that, right? Buy this product and you'll get a discount on this one.
yeah,
So it's really good for BOGOs. It's really good for if this, then that, or for, kind of department, grouping UPCs within a specific department, like the dental bundle or the sports themed program that we did, or produce or whatever it happens to be.
sure. So, I've just got a couple more questions.
Mhm.
But one of them, of course, everybody's going to ask immediately, and I'm sure people are is watching this going, okay, this isn't free. What does it cost?
Well, um, it is it is free. We will activate it at no cost. And so, it is it is a free lunch. It'll drive your sales. It'll drive your consumer participation. And working with RMS, you guys have been great in terms of dropping in the patch that allows it to come live. Again, I got to say thank you very much for that and that recognition of the value proposition that this brings to your customers.
So let's just analyze free for a second, because everybody knows that nothing's free, but sometimes it is, right? So the um, so $5 coupon, I get $5, and you don't,
Correct.
and data doesn't take anything off of that.
Well, on those in-store offers, thank you very much for clarifying that. On the in-store offers, we do charge a small fee for the creation of the barcode. Depending on your volume, it's usually less than 25 cents. And on the redemption side, it's usually less than 15 cents. So on the CPG side, there is no cost.
Okay.
You can accept those coupons. The CPG pays us for processing the redemption, so there's no cost to the retailer for that.
And that's very much unlike what the situation is today, where they go through a clearinghouse.
And the clearinghouse dings them time and again for a wide variety of fees. You're absolutely correct. Bag fees, obviously, you have to pay your mailing costs. You've got the labor in terms of gathering all those coupons, counting them, building a register so you know which coupons you've submitted to them, and then waiting weeks or months and having your cash flow tied up.
Okay. So this all sounds great, and I know it's doing really well in the places that it exists. It's not out there widespread usage, both from the consumer and from the retailer side yet. But as you've mentioned, Procter and Gamble and others are really pushing this, and want to see paper coupons go away in the future. So let's talk a little bit about how do one of our customers, besides just contacting and saying we want to do this, what is the work involved for them to make this happen, and how do they get their consumers to adopt this technology?
Great question. And I'm going to say something because I know most of the audience here are independent pharmacists. Walgreens has been teed up to do this. They were going to do it in 2023. And then, of course, we all know the challenges that they've gone through this year. And so it got shelved into 2024. And so for the foreseeable future, independent pharmacists are going to be in a great position to take advantage of the kinds of deals that are coming to the table, like with the participation of Nestle and P&G and Abbott, Bayer, et cetera. A lot of independent pharmacy or pharmacy focused type products have promotions that are coming. And then we also are anticipating some offers from Mondelez and Unilever around snack foods uh, and candy, which I think will kind of match some of the front of store, um, items that those retailers have. Um, you know, uh, Overall, the way that you bring this up is through, simply activating your point of sale system. Um, Retailers can communicate the offers to their consumers through their social media channels like Instagram or Facebook. We've been putting in danglers in the stores with a QR code where that's the way that you capture the offer. I'll make an interesting comment that on one of those Harding offers that you saw, the one for the Charmin, um, I believe it was over. They had dozens of redemptions over about a 10-day period, dozens, and over 90% of them were right off of a QR code that was on a shelf talker. May have been a dangler hanging from the ceiling, but it was either that or just a shelf talker right by the product. So the consumer was able to act on that impulse, capture the discount, and of course the retailer captured the sale.
And I think that that's an interesting right now. I would think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but that will start to shift over time as this becomes more, this technology is out there and consumers get used to it and see it in multiple places. They'll automatically be adopting it. But in this early stage, the retailer can take advantage of this first mover advantage and put up signage with QR codes and the things necessary to educate the consumer, and then take advantage of the consumer being educated.
Absolutely. And to that point, the digital wallet that you can store these in is very easily excuse me, by the QR code itself. So if you don't have the digital wallet for storing the for storing the offers, when you snap the QR code, it automatically takes you to the wallet, gives you the offer and the wallet. So it's a really seamless process to be able to capture the offer and then be able to store it on your phone.
And then, and one other thing about that, when you once you have this digital wallet, in the case that we've been talking Coupon 24, an app on your smartphone,
Mhm.
you can also sign up with, for instance, Procter and Gamble, and have all of their offerings each month become part of it, go into that app. Is that correct?
Yeah, Coupon 24 has the ability for you to link your, say you have an account with P&G Good Every Day, which is P&G's, website where people are able to get coupons from, right? So you can link your P&G Good Everyday account to Coupon 24, and you can do it with any number of CPGs that many of these CPGs have their own websites. But then also within Coupon 24, they have galleries. So, for example, Procter and Gamble, completely separate from P&G Good Every Day, has a gallery within Coupon 24 that makes it really easy to just kind of scroll through and look at exactly what the offers are. I'm going to clip this one. I want that one. It's a very user-friendly experience.
Very good. Well, I think we've covered a lot here. Are there any parting words, anything you want to share that we didn't talk about?
Um, First and foremost, thanks for the opportunity. Much appreciated. I think that I value the independent pharmacy space. It is in many cases a friendlier face than big box, very accessible, neighborhood and local businesses. So being able to support that industry is really important to us. And we're glad that we can be a part of it with RMS. And we think we're just very excited about how 8112 can help independent retailers going back to my history, I come out of the payments business. I did credit and debit services as well as prepaid and remittances. And in all of those businesses, I dealt almost always with independent retailers. A few times we dealt with some big box customers, but the overwhelming majority of our customers were independents. And we know how important they are for local retail, especially because big box, they come in, they do their thing, and then they sometimes decide to leave. And it's the independents that stay. And hopefully, things like 8112 being able to help an independent pharmacist strengthen the front of store sales, can strengthen them for the competitive issues that they have to deal with, and allow them to be there and serve their community.
Well, Sam, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. We will be putting up your contact information. So if anybody is interested in learning more and would like to put this into your stores, you can contact Sam directly. If you are one of our customers, you can contact us directly, and we can get you set up. But we have lots of you out there that listen to us every month, and you're not one of our customers, so we just encourage you to reach directly out to Sam, and he can assist you.